the piece of it, I mean, I can't wrap my brain around much of it, but the piece of it that I struggle with the most is the embrace of violence. That right now, today, as of this hour, the Republican Party stands for political violence because that is what Donald Trump incited, and against accountability for the incitement of violence, because that's what Liz Cheney did. That's her crime. That's why they're considering stripping her of her leadership position. What does a party do? How do you function? And these 45 Republican senators who voted against the constitutionality of impeaching a former president, that was like something they Googled. I mean, that's not some set in stone legal theory. What if that falls apart? Do you really think all of this is locked in?
Yeah, I think probably it's locked in, Nicole. And hi, good to see you, as always.
Hi.
It's like I don't I don't know what to say about it. I mean, it is in some ways, the apotheosis of the whole Trump era, right? Where everybody, this is, Carol's right. I actually don't even think it's so much about love of the base. I take the first part. It is just a party that had reached a point of moral and intellectual and philosophical bankruptcy when Donald Trump came along and was able to seize the opportunity that a party that was already shattered in those ways when he got there. He took control of it, and now everyone in the party lives in fear of what it's become. And so, I think it's fear mostly, and the fear continues to be, they care more about their jobs. Their jobs, not the job they're supposed to do for the American people, but holding power. They care more about maintaining their position, maintaining their status. They care more about that than they do about anything else. And that's really the story of 4 years of Donald Trump. Many of these members, objected to things Trump said, objected to what he did, but just at every turn, when confronted with a chance, and they're confronted every day, where we're confronted with choices to make about whether they would care about something more than their own future. And their own future in the sense that if they feared doing something that would annoy not just Trump, but it would annoy the people who love Trump. And so they capitulated over and over and over again, to the point where now they forgot how to do anything but capitulate, Nicole. They just are. They don't see you and I and many people who come on this program and many people in America see with clarity what you just laid out, that by doing what they're currently doing, that they are on the side of the mob, on the side of political violence, on the side of insurrection, on the side of nihilism, on the side of anarchy, on the side of thuggishness and autocracy. It's clear, but they've gotten so habituated to what will the cost be if I embrace that clarity and just do the right thing. The cost will be I will lose some votes, and they have decided that losing votes matters to them more than anything else. It's the only explanation, really, and it's pathetic. It's pathetic, it's sad, and it's why the Republican Party has been rendered just a pile of ashes now on the ground, or something worse.
And I keep asking about shame, Heilemann, because it's clear to me now that if you have none, you can do a lot of things in the short term, right? So if you have no shame, you can lock yourself in an office, barricade yourself, shove furniture at the door, and then 2 hours later go out and vote to overturn the most secure election in American history. If you have no shame, you can avert your eyes while a Parkland truther walks in your midst. If you have no shame, you can have told these lies about Trump for 4 years. Now he's out of the picture. He's basically deplatformed, on the omelet line at Mar-a-Lago. And you can still say you're afraid of him. But I don't buy that anymore. I don't think it's fear. I don't even know if because capitulating to whom? Trump's gone. Capitulating to whom? They are deciding
the voters
to stand with advocates for political violence. And they're deciding to stand with the kinds of people that Canada just named domestic terrorists. Why?
Again, I think, Nicole, it's not, they're no longer afraid of Donald Trump because they're now afraid of Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's not that they're afraid of the person, they're afraid of the person, of the people that those people represent. And again, I just say, they look at Marjorie Taylor Greene is a mini-me of Donald Trump, right? Where I don't believe that most members of the House Republican caucus are QAnon believers. I don't think that they are Parkland truthers. I don't think they think that Sandy Hook didn't happen. But I think they are so afraid that if they come out and just take the obvious thing, which is that this woman is obviously, should not be on any committees, that they should do the right thing here. They're afraid that they'll get primaried. That's how base and kind of pathetic all this is. It's like, well, if I did the right thing, I would annoy a bunch of voters, the tens of millions of voters who continue to believe that Joe Biden is an illegitimate president, that the election was stolen. It's all the same thing, and they're just that the personal consequences for them is that they might lose their job, and so they decide that in that instance that they care about nothing else other than that. And I again, to your point about shame, I mean, how much shamelessness is required to honor Officer Sicknick, as they all claim to do, and not draw the obvious inference that you can't honor Officer Sicknick and then turn around and say that Liz Cheney should be driven out of the Republican Party or driven out of leadership for voting to impeach Donald Trump for his role in this riot, in this insurrection. There's no intellectual case for it. It's just merely like, oh my God, some voters in my district would be upset if I don't do the things that I'm supposed to do here to stay good with them. It's craven cowardice and shamelessness, as you said.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.